Hi guys, my name is Sarah, and today I'll be doing a collective book haul for you today. These books are from July and August, from Book Outlet, from OwlCrate, and from Barnes Nobles. Um, I have a couple books here. I only have like 8 or 9, and I'm going to jump right into it. So I don't want to be something too long. All right. So the first book I'm going to haul for you today is Such a Pretty Girl by Laura Weiss. I'm sorry if I butcher any of these authors' names. I'm not really great on authors' names. So this book I already read. I read it in July, and it was really good. It was a little twisted, actually, more twisted than I thought it was gonna be, and it's definitely a. I would say there's some trigger warnings for this book, in my opinion, and has to be over 16 to read it because it touches on some serious topics, abuse and rape, and it's just it's not movie for most. I did read it and I did give it a 3 to 3 out of 5 stars, only because it wasn't the ending bothered me a little bit. It wasn't exactly what I wanted in the ending. It was kind of a little rushed in my opinion because it's such a small book. It's only like 200 something pages, so it was a little rushed. It is small, but I would recommend it if you want something of those lines of a book. The next book I also did read, and I read this for Booktubeathon, and it is Pretty Girl 13 by Liz Coley, and it was signed when it came from Book Outlet. This book, Such a Pretty Girl, and the next book I'm gonna haul are all from Book Outlet. So Such a Pretty Girl 13, both have pretty in it. This book is a kidnapping book, and it's a little different. It's written in the perspective of the girl Angie who came back from being kidnapped, and she doesn't know how she escaped or what happened during her kidnapping, and she has to discover what happened through different alternatives that she has, alters in her head, and it's really interesting. This book is a 5 out of 5 for me. It's horrible to say, I love kidnapping books because I like the theories behind them and the way they feel and how they're a little bit mystery and a little bit scary and a little bit, their reality in a sense for a lot of people, and that's sad. But the fictional ones are okay, I guess. I felt for this character so much. I felt bad for her. I wanted to hug her at times, and even the last like 50 to 30 pages, I was reading it and I was like, oh, I have the ending. I knew what's gonna happen. And then the author threw a twist, and I was like, I didn't get that. I didn't think that was gonna happen. So, wow, yeah, I love this book. Will recommend it, and it's really good. It was fast paced too. Not really fast paced, but I didn't want it to end, so I read it slow. Next book is a book in a series. I think this is a trilogy. The Lux by Anna Godberson. And I heard this on a BookTube video, and the way that the person had described this book made it sound really interesting in my opinion. I'm gonna read it back to you because I don't really know much about this book, but it sounded really good. So, pretty girls in pretty dresses, parting till dawn, irresistible boys with sly smiles and dangerous intentions, white lies, dark secrets, and scandalous hookups. This is Manhattan, 1899. Okay, that doesn't interest you and sound cool. I don't know. It's not something normally I'd read. It's different, but it sounded really cool. It's in Manhattan in the early 1900s, and that's like something I like, the early 1900s and that kind of era. So we'll see. Definitely gonna have to pick that one up soon. I want to read it when I have like a chunk of time to really devote to the series. I can read like marathon them all. But I'm the type of person that doesn't buy every book in a series, all the books in the series, and then marathon that way. I'll read them, and if I like the first one, I'll continue and buy the second one. Or if I don't, I just won't. So the next book is from OwlCrate, and that is The Night We Said Yes by Lauren Gibdall. This is the July one, the friendship book, and it's pretty interesting so far. I'm only like 50 pages in, so it's interesting. I have to sit down and like really get into it. I've been reading it on my breaks at work, so I haven't really had a chance to like sit there and be like, okay, this is like I want to read it. I've been like, okay, what time is it? Okay, I gotta go back to work. So it's pretty cool. It's a summer contemporary, which is something I don't typically steer for. It seems like contemporary, but I like it. All right, so the next book I got today at Barnes and Nobles, and this is The Sacred Lies of Minna Bly by Stephanie Oakes. And I haven't read this yet, but I felt the cover and it feels so weird and so good. Like, it's like that weird material. It's not like very like paper material, and it is chunky. I've heard very little things about, not very little, but I've heard about a lot about this particular title and seen a lot about the title, but I don't particularly know what it's about. I know it's about a cult after Get, and a girl named Minnow, and she rebelled, and some crazy shit happened. So I love how like clean the book looks, though. How like clean the front looks, and on the side is just really clean, and then the back is just one little blurb instead of like all of the reviews of the different authors, which kind of bothers me a little bit when publishers do that. So I like them being inside the book, and I think this is what that has. I think it has the review inside, or not at all. Okay, so next book I got, another booktuber was talking about it. A lot of booktubers have been talking about it, and I didn't really know about this one again. I feel terrible. I don't know what this one's about, but it looked really interesting, and the back drew me in. I wasn't gonna get this. I Barnes & Noble. I was like, the cover is beautiful, and that is The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and I was like, this is such a beautiful cover. And I saw the cover for the second book, and I was like, that's beautiful too. So sheer cover buy until I read the back, and I'll read it for you if you haven't read it already or seen it. It says, in school, we learned about the worlds before ours, about the angels and the gods that lived in the sky, ruling the earth with kind and loving hands. Some say those are just stories, but I don't believe that. The gods still rule us. They have come down from the stars, and they're no longer kind. It just sounds really interesting. It is another chunky book. It's like 300 pages, 400 pages, and I do read pretty fast, but I want to read this closer to the date of the release of the second one, because it does sound something I will like. It's Angels and Gods, which I don't really read much about. So I have read like one or two angel books, but I don't love them. So it just, the cover though is so pretty, and so beautiful. It's like really cool when you like look at it in like person. It has the raised edge, the raised letters, and the raised picture. So I love the look of this book too. Cover by for the win, right? Okay, so then the next book I got, which was a book I wasn't even intending to pick up. I had one book intended in my mind, which I was going to pick up from Barnes & Nobles, which I did pick up, which is a book I'm going to talk about soon, and maybe one other book, and I didn't picking up those two other books, but this third book I really had no intention of picking up whatsoever. It's on my Amazon wish list to buy, and it is expensive. It was an expensive book, but it was 30% off on Barnes & Nobles, and I was like, alright, it sounds interesting, you know. And that is All the Light We Cannot See, is a chunky book by Anthony Doerr. It is a World War II book set in France when the Nazis invade, and I am so excited. I love World War II books. Fiction, non-fiction, YA, adult, anything. Give it to me. It's my favorite. So I'm really excited to read this one. It is another chunky book. It's 500 pages. I'm going to have to devote like a lot of time to this book. Not a lot, but I want to read it slowly because the concept sounds really interesting to me. I don't know I don't know a lot about this book, but it just sounds really, really beautiful. I apologize for my phone. I bet it's my boyfriend. Yep. It's my boyfriend. He's texting me talking about something. So, yeah. Sorry about that. My camera just freaked out for a minute. So it's beautiful looking. Like it even just it wraps around. Oh, it doesn't wrap around there. It wraps around to the spine and to the front, and it's such a beautiful book. Even the dust jacket is like those cool colors. It's just I cannot wait to read this. I love these World War II books. And what sounds interesting about it is I read the first little 2 sentences because I don't want to really give myself too much away for it. But it says that the girl is blind, and that just sounds really interesting. I think it's from her perspective, the girl's perspective of being blind. So I've never read anything of a girl being blind before, or anyone being blind. So that should be really cool. Plus, my favorite genre, World War II, so definitely interesting. So the last book I have here is what I was intending to go in there. If I was going to buy anything, it was what I was going to buy. It was on my Amazon wish list. I was going to buy it when I got paid. I was going to buy it hardback, but I found paperback, and I was like, I need it. And I started reading in the library about a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I got about 15 pages in, and my friend was like, okay, take it from the library, read it in there. And then I was like, no, I want to read this book. I have to own it because it looks so beautiful, and I don't know much about it. Again, I feel terrible not knowing much about it, but this is a book I intended to not talk much about it, because whenever I hear about a booktube, I swipe through the bar so I cannot hear about it, because I want to go through this pretty blind, because it seems so phenomenal. And that, which a lot of people know about, and I read the back now, just buying it, like when I got home I read the back, and that is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson, and I knew her name, so I've been looking at her thing. So this is amazing. It's about a villain right there, him, and his sidekick, who is a shapeshifter, and I started this when I got home. I'm on page 6. I'm probably going to finish this today. I have a couple hours before my boyfriend gets home, and before we're gonna hang out and before I put this video up. So I am so excited to read this. It looks so good. I did read the back when I got home. I didn't read it when I just first saw it on Amazon, because I knew I was gonna love this. And I don't tend to read graphic novels. Like, this is a graphic novel. If you haven't seen the pictures, oh, that's my bookmark. It's falling out. Let's get to the page. The artwork and the look of the pictures. Beautiful. I love Noelle Stevenson's style. It's beautiful to me. So if you want me to read the back to you guys, because it sounds really interesting, and I'm gonna go off of the back and by everyone loving it. So Nimona is an impulsive young shapeshifter with a knack for villainy. Lord Ballister Blackheart is a villain with a vendetta. As sidekick and supervillain, Nimona and Lord Blackheart are about to wreak some serious havoc. Their mission? To prove to the kingdom that Sir Ambrose Goldloin and his buddies at the Institution of Law Enforcement and Heroics aren't the heroes everyone thinks they are. Nemesis, dragon, science, symbolism. All these and more await in this brilliant, subversive, sharply epic from Noelle Stevenson, based on her webcomic. So look at the back. Look at that. Nemesis, dragon, science, and symbolism. I'm an English major. I'm loving all of that. So, that's the last book from my book haul. Those 4 books were from Barnes & Noble. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books, and I'm gonna hold them all up. No, not a lot, but these are my books. So yeah, I hope to talk to you guys soon. I make videos pretty regularly on here on BookTube. So thanks. Bye. Oop.